All right, so we are here today, Super Tuesday, 2016, the presidential primary. I don't know if you noticed the background, it's a familiar scene. I actually recorded a video like this during the midterm elections. But we're actually out at the St. Michael's Lutheran Church on the outskirts of Blacksburg, Virginia. Now, you can see some people filing in. This election has got a lot of people fired up. There's some very, very interesting things going on in the Republican Party as well as the Democratic Party. You have, for the very first time, two anti-establishment candidates. Donald Trump on the Republican side, Bernie Sanders on the Democratic side, are getting people to turn out in droves. This is a very, very exciting time here in America. You know, we're potentially going to see possibly the Republican Party split. Who knows, the Democratic Party might even split. There is a big divide between the people here in the United States, and you know, naturally I had to come here today and weigh in. You know, I'm about ready to go in and cast my vote. One of the things I did want to point out, though, looking at these signs, Ben Carson is the only sign that we have here. For all the contention that we have on both the Republican and Democratic side, I find it really odd that you know, we don't see a line of Hillary signs or Bernie signs or Trump signs. You know, it's almost like they gave up on trying to win the voters over here. So I don't know, just interesting thought. But people keep coming in. This is great. People are actually turning out to vote today. I think the way it works here in Virginia is that I'm going to get my ballot, and as a voter, I get one choice to pick one person that I support. You know, if you really think about it, there might be a better way to do voting in primaries. As a voter, I would actually love to go in and be able to check off every single candidate that I actually support, as opposed to being forced to pick one candidate. Why do we have to do that this day and age? There's a better, I think if we should consider moving to more approval voting here in the United States, where I can say, you know what, I support this candidate, that candidate, but there may be, you know, one out of the five I really don't support, but I'm okay with any of the other four being president. You know, if you think about that, and if everyone were to vote in that way, you know, we would actually, the presidential candidate with the most support, regardless of political party, would actually win the election. So it would be a big change in the way we do elections today. And it's a very small, simple change. And just wanted to throw that out there, is that, you know, there's a lot of ways that we can improve voting. The biggest improvement we can make, I think, is providing transparency into our voting systems. Follow My Vote is a company based in the Virginia Tech Corporate Research Center that is working on developing an open source, end-to-end verifiable online voting software for use in elections. What we're talking about here is honest elections worldwide, once and for all. And this is doable. It's something that's technologically possible. I'm actually the CEO of Follow My Vote. My name is Adam Ernest, if I didn't introduce myself before. We're working on game-changing technology that can ultimately make that black box that I'm about to put my ballot in transparent, so that there's no doubt as to what the actual true, accurate vote count is, you know, in our elections. Times they are changing, and we now have the technology to make elections verifiable and honest. We're integrating our technology with the blockchain. There's been a shift, a paradigm shift in what's technologically possible. And it's about time that we woke up as a country and as a world and say, you know what? Verifiable, honest elections are possible. Let's go get that done. We're doing it. It's happening. We got support from Gary Johnson, the Libertarian Party's candidate for President of the United States. He has stood up and said, you know what, I support honest elections. Now this begs the question, who's going to be the next presidential candidate to jump aboard the Follow My Vote freight train? We will see. We're planning on approaching all of the candidates and seeing who's willing to stand up and support honest voting. in America's future. But I've been going on and on and on. I'm fired up about this project. I'm fired up about Election Day. It's about time for me to go cast my vote. So I'm going to head in there and I'll be back and tell you how it went. I voted. I got the coveted I voted sticker. In the primary here in Blacksburg, Virginia, at St. Michael's Lutheran Church, I had to choose as a voter. Well, first off, I had to drive all the way out here. We're about 10 miles out of town. So without a car, I wouldn't have been able to vote today. I don't know how I'd get here, but unless I took several hours out of my day to hoof it and walk to and from. But thankfully I had a car and was able to get here. The thing is, though, I was forced to drive here, for one, and I was also forced to pick a party. I registered as an independent out of principle, and just for so that everyone knows, Follow My Vote is a nonpartisan organization. Now, I won't tell you which political party that I picked, but I was forced to pick whether I wanted to vote in the Democratic primary or the Republican primary, and so I had to choose as an independent. I was forced to pick, and I was not able to vote in both. I would have liked to be able to vote in both as an independent, because no candidate as of yet has really impressed me enough to where they truly deserve my vote. It is what it is. Now, I think there's a much better way that we can do voting, and especially in this day and age. And I'm happy to announce to the world today that Follow My Vote is going to be running a mock election in parallel to the 2016 election to showcase the world how easy and convenient, secure and private a verifiable online voting system like Follow My Votes can be, and how much easier and more efficient voting could be, how much more honest voting could be. This demonstration is going to be a worldwide event. We're going to invite people from all over the world. You know what? Go wait in line, 2 or 3 hours at your centralized polling location. But then, cast your vote, keep your fingers crossed, and hope that it got counted correctly and whatnot. But then, take a few minutes out of your day to download the Follow My Vote app and to participate in our parallel election by voting securely from your own device in the Follow My Votes voting software. It's happening. We're bringing the future to the people and going to make it an easy, honest process once and for all. So if you want to take part in history, if you want to make history, go to followmyvote.com, sign up and be a part of our parallel election. I'm not telling you not to vote in the real election. Go vote in the real election, but vote in our system as well. A vote in our system is a vote for secure, verifiable elections worldwide. So we would really appreciate your support. Check us out, followmyvote.com, and good luck on Super Tuesday. Hey everyone, we are here at Virginia Tech. We're at Squire Student Center, here today on Super Tuesday to talk to the millennials and figure out why they're coming out today to vote. And we've actually seen a lot of foot traffic of people coming through Squire Student Center, really passionate and pumped up about casting their vote today. So I couldn't be more excited that millennials are engaged in this election and they're actually getting out to vote. So what you'll see from here is a few interviews of us with some people that have voted, and they're going to tell us why today it was so important for them to come out and vote today. We're actually with Follow My Vote. We're a startup out of the Virginia Tech Corporate Research Center, and we're developing end-to-end verifiable online voting software for use in elections.
Yeah.
So we hope to be the company that brings the presidential election to your smartphone.
Oh, that would be great.
Wouldn't it be a lot better?
That would be so much easier.
So much easier than having to come here. Well, you came here today,
yes,
right? And you took the time out of your day to stop in and come to the centralized polling location and cast your vote. Would you mind telling us why you felt it was so important to come out today?
Well, my parents have always really stressed me that it's super important to vote. I went to the polls with them when I was a little kid, so I was actually really excited to be able to do it on my own. But I think it's really important, especially in this election, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and we need to make sure that if we have really strong opinions, that we're going to put someone in office that we feel confident is going to get the job done. And if you don't vote, it's really hard to complain about it because you could have had a say. A lot of people who are able to register to vote aren't registered to vote, and so it's really important to get out there. It's your civic responsibility as an American citizen to vote.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I love it. Yeah. I just went and actually voted myself.
Yeah.
And I had to drive out to the St. Michael's Lutheran Church to cast my vote.
Yeah.
But I got out there and I did it. So that's really cool. And one of the things you actually just mentioned was, that you people should stand up and support, the candidate they think is going to, the right choice for America. So as of right now, I know it's Super Tuesday. We're still in the primary season. Do you feel? I wouldn't dare ask you who you voted for. But do you feel like there is a candidate out there that really is the right candidate for America?
Absolutely. I feel very strongly that who I voted for today would be a really good choice for the American people.
Awesome. Okay, well, it's good to know that you think there's some hope out there for us here in America.
Yeah, there is. Somewhere out there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us today.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It was good to meet you.
Good to meet you, too.
I'm Liam Dillon. I am a theater major.
Cool. Well, my name's Will. I'm with Follow My Vote. Why did you feel like it was important to come vote today?
I think something of our generation that we don't take seriously sometimes is that our voice does matter. Whether it's just one, it makes a really big impact when it's all together. So I think that's important for us to realize that.
Cool. Do you think there was a candidate who really, truly represented what you believe, your value system?
No, I don't, but I think that happens pretty much in any race. I don't think there is such a thing as a perfect match. I mean, it's like Tinder, you're not going to find your soulmate every single time. But I think it's a matter of fact that trying to find someone who, and I think people don't realize it, to be selfish, is to find someone that really matches what you want for the future. So, yeah.
Now, have you heard of other types of voting systems like ranked choice and stuff like that?
I haven't.
Where you would actually go through and you would actually get to rank all of the candidates and say, this is my first choice, this is my second choice, this is my third choice. Would you rather vote like that?
That's an interesting way of doing it. I think it would be cool to find out how that would work. I think, yeah, I could dig that. Yeah, for sure.
Very cool. Well, thanks for talking with us.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Lauren Harrison, HNFE.
Cool. So why did you come out and vote today?
I know it's a big deal because it's kind of back and forth between all the candidates, especially with Donald Trump in the lead, and then Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio always being neck and neck. So.
Do you feel like there was a candidate that truly represented your value system and your beliefs?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Very cool. Are you aware of other types of voting methods, such as ranked choice, and would you prefer to vote that way? So in these methods, you would get to rank the candidates in order of preference. So you're number one, you're number two, you're number three.
I did not know about that, but I would like to do that. Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Very cool. Thanks for talking.
Thanks. Have a good day.
My name is JC Wright, and I'm a philosophy major.
Awesome. I'm Will, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Will.
Nice to meet you. So why did you come out to vote today?
Well, I came out to vote today because I think it's very important, one, to just exercise that right in the first place, but two, the candidate that I'm hoping gets the Democratic nomination, I feel like it's unlikely that he's going to get it. I voted for Bernie Sanders today, and I think that he's in tough competition right now with Hillary, so if I can do anything that I can to help promote his candidacy, then I think that's my responsibility.
Now, did you feel that... Okay, go ahead.
I have to ask you a question. I have to jump
Sure.
in. So, why should people vote for Bernie Sanders?
I think people should vote for Bernie Sanders for a couple reasons. Because you said people, I'll detach the personal reasons why I think he should be put in.
Sure.
But I think people should be voting for Bernie Sanders because he's a little bit more detached from the political system than Hillary or Martin O'Malley might be, especially in terms of financing. So I think it's important that as a nation we put in somebody in the presidency who's been a little detached from the political system just because so many people are frustrated with the way that the political machine has worked. So if we can try and introduce new faces, I mean, yes, he's been in government for a really long time, but not in the sense that he's been actively involved with lobbyist groups or big. I'm going to blank here now that I'm on camera. But I guess in essence, in short, I think that it's important that we bring in some new blood, people who have not been so deeply embedded into the system, and see what that approach gets.
Now, does your favorite candidate truly represent all of your beliefs and your whole value system?
That's an interesting question. He definitely reflects it the most out of the presented options. But I feel like it's also a little too early, at least in my relationship with Bernie Sanders, to know every intricacy of his platform. So, for example, like on foreign policy, I'm not quite sure like everything that he wants to do, every opinion that he has. So in that case, I can't say I'm in agreement with everything he said. Everything that I've seen him say publicly, everything that he's really pushing forward the most in terms of his economic plan and in terms of his views on healthcare and immigration, I'm in full support. But like I said, I either don't know or he hasn't expressed every intricacy, so I can't quite say 100% that I'm behind everything.
Okay. I guess I just have one more question.
Sure.
Are you familiar or have you heard of different types of voting methods? So like ranked choice, there's several different types of majority voting methods. So what we use right now is called first past the post.
Okay.
And it actually, when you look at the math, statistically, it actually encourages a two-party system where they kind of butt heads. Are you familiar with ranked choice? Whereas you would list the candidates as, this is my first choice, this is my second choice, this is my third choice. So you rank them on your number of preference.
That's interesting.
And this can actually give a more accurate representation of what the people actually believe.
Sure.
Have you heard of a system like that, and would you support it?
I think I would support something along those lines. I haven't heard of that being utilized, especially, I don't think I've ever... I've heard the concept of ranking in terms of preference and hoping that in some sort of voting system, but not in terms of like a governmental voting system or like an institutional voting system. That is something that I would think would be interested in because if you see consistently that a figure has taken last place in many people's lists, I think that's also equally as important as whoever's taken first place. I think the priority, like by having people show their priority, it just gives more depth to the voting system, and I think that there's pretty much nothing wrong with giving more depth to having more insight as to what people are thinking.
Very cool.
So,
thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you guys. Best of luck.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
All right, man.
I'm Zachary Kelvin. I'm a neuroscience major.
My name is Katie Roberts, and I'm also a neuroscience major.
Very cool. So, why did you guys come out to vote today?
You want to start?
I can.
Okay.
It's like your duty as an American. This is like my first time voting, even though like I could vote like prior for like governor and like senator and stuff. But which was awesome. My like first time voting the like presidential candidate. But yeah, it was. I just think it's something that you like have to do as an American is to vote. Civil duty, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think that the way the country's headed, I was obviously not for President Obama in 2008, and so I just think that we need kind of a new direction. I do vote every election. I just think it's really important, but this is my first presidential election, and I really liked how some of the candidates focused on issues that are relevant, especially to our generation. So I think that a lot of people feel like they have to vote a certain way just because we're young, but I don't think that that's the case. I think that millennial voters care a lot about the economy. We care about jobs, trying to get a job, trying to get into graduate school. And I just think that when candidates focus on issues, when they realize that the millennial voting base is the largest voting base in America right now, that if they tap into that, then there's unlimited potential.
Yeah, definitely. So did you guys feel like there was a candidate for each of you that really represented your belief system, your value system?
I wouldn't say that there's perfectly lines up because different candidates did kind of represent different aspects of my belief system and whatnot. So it was kind of hard because not every single person's gonna think the same way that you do. But I did think that there was a candidate that was stronger related to me personally.
Yeah, I think my beliefs are really important to me, and so especially like strong Christian values. And also, I didn't want to vote for a politician because I kind of think that this is the year of different things. So I supported Dr. Carson. I really liked what he had to say. I went to see him when he came to Lynchburg. I think that he has a lot of common sense. I think that he's very humble, and I like that he can be educated and speak to you in an educated voice instead of yelling at you. But I really liked especially some of his thoughts on the flat tax and different aspects. So that was in the end what it came down to for me.
Awesome,
you for
thank
talking.
you.
Thanks so much for the time.
Yep.
I'm Abby Graven, and my major is biology. And I'm Caitlin Brown, my major is history.
So we're at Virginia Tech today at the polling location on campus. So why did you guys feel it was important to come out and vote today?
I saw some numbers of people who came out in New Hampshire. It was like 5% of eligible voters came out, and it's way too low. I think more people should have a say in the process. So a lot of people just think the presidential one is important, but the primaries are too. I'm really interested. It's my major, and it's important, and I'm going to be a teacher one day. So when I harass my students to go vote, I figured I should probably be a voter myself.
Very cool. Did you guys feel there was a candidate that truly represented your values or your beliefs?
There's no one that did it completely, just some more than others. I don't know. It's a tough one this year.
Yeah,
I agree. I think it's tough. That was definitely one I was leaning towards, but
Very cool. Would you guys prefer a ranked choice type voting scenario, where you could actually, instead of being forced to choose just one candidate, you could actually rank them and say, this would be my number one choice, this would be my number two choice, and so forth?
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I think that'd be easier. There's a few I was leaning towards, and I just picked my favorite one, so I think that would be a good idea.
Very cool. Thank you for talking with us.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Too. Hi, this is Will Long reporting live for Follow My Vote. We are currently at the Slushers Chapel Church of God outside of Blacksburg, Virginia. This is a local polling location. We're here to interview some of the voters and see what their thoughts are on their voting experiences. Mind if we interview you?
Yes, I would be happy to.
So, how was your experience?
It was surprising. I did not know that I would be asked to identify in front of the polling workers whether I wanted a Republican or a Democratic ticket. I thought it would be on one piece of paper and I could choose who I wanted. So that was a little bit of a weird process to have to say in front of people which ticket I wished to have. And it was a little bit awkward, honestly.
Now, why did you come out to vote today?
I came out because I think that this is one of the most important elections in our history, recently at least, but also Super Tuesday is really important for the election in the fall. Most likely, whoever wins the majority of today's elections across the country, they're going to be the Democratic or the Republican nominee, most likely. And so if we don't exercise our right to vote on today, then we're really reducing our voice in the fall. And that's really important to me, to have a voice right now, so that in the fall I can choose the person that I think is going to be the best suited for our country.
Very cool. Now, would you have rather have voted via a different voting method, say, for example, ranked choice, where you could actually rank the candidates?
Definitely. Seeing the different candidates and knowing that I can only vote for one does make it a little bit uncomfortable, because there's not one candidate that really says exactly what I want them to say. And I feel like by giving people just that one choice, you're reducing maybe the voice of the people.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're not going to be able to actually prove that your vote was counted here today. Right?
No, I actually asked them that when I saw the machine. I asked them, how do I know that it's counted? And they said as long as the light turns green, which it did, it showed that I did vote. And I did look, and I saw that the number went from 566 to 567. So I'm assuming that that means that it was counted.
Very cool. Now, would you prefer a system where you could actually verify that your vote was actually counted, similar to the fact that you would verify that the number in your bank account is what it should be.
Definitely. That would be really nice to be able to keep a track, or like basically follow it. Make sure that I can see that it really is counted at the end of the day and not just when that little green light changed. That would be
Very
nice.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts or comments on your experience here today?
The only comment I would have is just it would be nice to be able to vote in privacy, because I had always thought before today that it's definitely private, but when I had to publicly state which party I wished to have I didn't feel like I was being able to privately vote anymore. It literally felt like I was stating in front of people, and that seemed a little off-putting to me. Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
For talking
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, today we are here at the Blacksburg Community Center in Blacksburg, Virginia. I got a couple guys that just walked out of the polling location, and I asked if it would be okay if we interview. Will you go ahead and state your name and let us know if it's okay to use on our YouTube channel?
Yeah, my name is Dylan Parson. It's A-OK to use. Yeah, I'm Cody Parson.
All right, so we got two brothers here, huh?
That's right.
Okay, cool. So why don't you tell us a little bit about why you came out to vote today?
I came out to vote. Just I feel like there are two candidates that I can see changing the course of the country and what's going on, and it's my right to vote as an American citizen. So I feel like it's important to use that vote for good.
Okay, what about you?
Came out here to vote because I feel like there's a lot of bad things in politics, and it seems like there's a possibility that maybe some of that could get better.
Okay. So do you guys think that, of the candidates you had a chance to vote for today, do you think that there was any one that really truly represented your views, your values?
Yeah, absolutely. To me, a big issue is how much money we put into the military and the military-industrial complex. We need to get some of that money out of the military and put it back into schools where it really makes a difference. It's a hard sell when so many of my tax dollars are going to fund war and corporations and protections of corporations. So, yeah.
Okay. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be a complete change in the judicial system and the prison system and the way we go about drug offenders, and
Okay.
We need to figure out ways to make it so the poor don't keep getting poorer and the rich keep getting richer. We need to figure that out so it's not such a disparity between the two.
All right. Any final comments or thoughts about today or the future of this country?
Good luck.
Well, you think we got hope for a better future?
I mean, ideally, yeah. I mean,
If people come out
the
and vote?
idea, yeah. If people come out and vote, and don't fall for what the media tells us is right, and what I consider evil men tell us are right. So I hope that there's hope. I really do.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right.
Hi there.
Hi.
Do you mind if we interview you
Sure.
about your voting experience?
Let's do this.
So, how was your voting experience today?
Today was hassle-free. It was quick and simple, painless.
All right.
Yeah.
Why do you think that voting is important? Why did you come out today?
Why did I come out today? For personal reasons, and then also for the stake that, this is part of something that I am delegated as a citizen to do. So it was something that not only I have to do for myself, it's for the whole.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Any other comments or?
No, it's a beautiful day. It's a good day to vote.
It is. It is a beautiful day
You know,
today.
so could have been easier because it could have been online though.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
Fantastic.
So, hopefully one day.
One other question.
Yeah.
Do you felt like there was a candidate that truly represented your beliefs or your values?
For the most part, yes.
For the most part.
Yes.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, it's Will from Follow My Vote. Just got my I voted today sticker. Overall experience was okay. I think it could have been improved. I was actually kind of disappointed. Here in Virginia, we only have 2 parties on the primary ballots, Republicans and Democrats. I would have liked to seen Libertarian, Green Party, overall just more options. I thought it was very interesting when I actually got my ballot. There were actually candidates who have dropped out of the race. They have announced that they are no longer contenders, but they were still listed on the ballot. I asked the poll workers why this was. They were nice enough to come talk to me and answer my question, but at the same time, they didn't really answer my question because they didn't really know. And they didn't really know what would happen if I voted for a candidate that is no longer a contender but is still on the ballot. So I thought that was very interesting. But overall, happy I was able to exercise my right to vote today. And I hope in the future that I will actually be able to count my ballot in the ballot box and confirm that my vote was cast as intended and counted as cast.